Which number is larger, 4 or 5? Well, 5 of course. How about 15 or 14? 15 for sure. How about 14 or 21? It's 21. When identifying when a number is larger or smaller, we are actually comparing place values. 4 and 5 are both in the units place value. 5 is a larger number in the units place value, and that's why 5 is larger. When comparing 14 and 15, starting from the left, they both have a 1 in the tens place value. Since the value is the same, we can't use the tens place value to identify which of these two values are larger. We now move on to the next place value on the right. 5 is larger than 4, so 15 is larger than 14. Looking at 14 and 21, starting from the left again, 2 is larger than 1, so therefore 21 is larger than 14, even though the units place values 4 is larger than 1. This is important when comparing decimal numbers. For example, 0.4 and 0.31. The knee-jerk reaction is to say 0.31 because 31 is larger than 4. But this would be incorrect. We must always compare the place values. They both have 0 in their units column, so we move on to the next place value, the tenths. Which value is larger? 4 is larger. Therefore 0.4 is larger than 0.31. This can be quite confusing, so to help, ensure all numbers have the same number of decimal places by using placeholders. The highest number of decimals is 2, as 0.31 has 2 decimal numbers. Therefore 0.4 has to show 2 decimal places. There is already 4 in the first decimal place. We now use a placeholder to give it 2. This makes it a little clearer. We can now see 0.31 is smaller than 0.40. Have a look at this question. Place these numbers in order with the smallest first. Let's first ensure that they all have the same number of decimal places. 0.052 has 3 decimal places. Therefore, all the other numbers have to have 3 decimal places. We will add placeholders to the decimals so they all have 3 decimal places. Let's compare the place values starting from the left. They all have 0 in the units place value. These two have 0 in the tenths place value, while the other numbers have higher values. They also have 5 in the hundredths. However, 0 is smaller than 2, so this is the smallest, followed by 0.052, then 0.25, as the 2 in the tenths is larger than 0 but smaller than 5, then 0.5, and finally 0.55. We now rewrite the numbers in order. In maths, there is a word to describe placing numbers in order smallest first. The word is ascending. If it was placing numbers in order largest first, the word is descending. So these numbers are in ascending order. Which decimal is larger? 0.3 or 0.3 recurring? 0.3 recurring is larger because, comparing the place values, they both have the same tenths value, but 0.3 recurring has a 3 in the next place value. In fact, it has 3s going on forever, while 0.3 has a placeholder of 0. Pause and try this question. To summarize, when placing numbers in ascending or descending order, compare the place values. To help compare, use placeholders to make the number of decimals the same for all numbers.